Welcome to KHL Health and Life. I'm your host, Kristen Wolosinovich, here with my beautiful co-host, Lisa Metropolis.
Hi, Kristen. How are you?
Doing very well. Good. Exciting day. We have Moses West, retired Army officer, in the KHL Health and Life studio. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Very good, and you?
Good.
We're doing really wonderful now because we, Lisa, are in the presence of greatness. Moses, tell us a little bit. You're here in the state of Michigan, city of Flint. I know you were doing quite a bit of traveling lately. You actually travel the country talking about AWG, atmospheric water generation, and this incredible technology. Tell us a little bit about AWG.
What atmospheric water generation is we have three sources of water that exist on the earth. It comes in three forms.
Okay.
It comes in a liquid, it comes in a solid, and it comes in a gas. And with the advancement of any type of technology, we've advanced the technology now where we can remove water from the atmosphere in industrial quantities cheaper than we can pull it out of the ground. So basically, instead of drilling a pipe into the ground and pulling water up, you can actually build a building and pull that water right out of the air.
Wow.
Cleaner than out of the ground.
That's fascinating.
That's kind of, when it's said that way, it's mind-blowing, really. I mean, it's there. It's always been there.
Right.
But it's mind-blowing to have that technology, and you go nationally and internationally around doing this. Technology, giving communities this technology, providing communities with this technology. And now you're here in Flint talking to residents and community members, because this is really a very community-based project, correct?
Yes, it is. But there's been some things, some innovations with the technology that I've made over the past year, where it was confined to the limits of a box, maybe a 20-foot ISO or 40-foot or 53-foot ISO container. And it was limited by the size of the system that you could build. Okay. And what I did was I had to figure out a way, because I build these units for the United States military, a way that was more rugged. And in the process of developing that, I found the path forward to expand the system. And right now in the state of Texas, what we're trying to calculate out is how big is the biggest system that we can build.
Wow.
Well, that's my question. How long has this technology been in existence?
It's been around probably for 30 years. I think the first ones were built by the Russians to remove moisture from missile silos, and then that technology was taken by other people, and they said, okay, there's a use for it to produce water. But the main problem that we've always had was the energy consumption was just so high that it did not make it feasible. Okay. And what I've done is I've found every way possible to reduce that energy, and so right now I make the most energy efficient units in the world, and under just normal conditions, building the system as it is, I've reduced it in the past year, a 7-fold reduction in energy consumption.
Incredible.
Wow.
Let me just touch you.
Right. That's it, again, mind-blowing. It's incredible technology. I don't.
Well, it's hard for us to wrap our brain around such
Right.
an incredible mind. And you are here in the city of Flint because you're talking, like Lisa said, you're talking to the community.
Right.
A community that's been through a water crisis that's healing. And this could be innovation and technology that really can change and save lives. And I know you're coming in, you're just doing an introduction and really working more with administration and legislation and politicians from Texas, correct? That's where you hail from.
That's right. The Republican Party in Texas and the Democratic Party in Texas, we get along quite well.
Wow, a bipartisan friendship.
Oh.
And you're sitting next
In
to
Texas.
Lisa in Texas. Very impressive.
Yeah, that's great.
We work together. We work together. And,
It's amazing.
People say a lot of bad things about Texas, but I tell you what, I work with Texas Agricultural Commission, Texas A&M, the United States military out there, and that the support that we get for what I do is just absolutely
Incredible. That's amazing. And you are retired Army officer. How long were you in the military?
I was in 11 years, and what happened was I was injured in the war, spent 9 months in the hospital, recovered, learned how to walk again, escaped from the hospital, and then they retired me.
Well, thank you for serving our country. And
Thank you
now
so much.
you are serving our globe in a capacity that is just really overwhelming. Have you always been passionate about innovation itself, or what drew you to this particular project?
Well, definitely. I started out in the military as a ranger, and that was 3 years of infantry before I became a pilot. Then I was a pilot. I was a combat pilot. Flew 58s and Cobras up and patrolled the DMZ between North and South Korea. Got shot at a lot. And then I went to test pilot, became a test pilot, a maintenance officer test pilot. And so I test flew OH-58s, and then from OH-58s I went to CH-47s, CH-47D models. So I know how to take it apart, put it back together, go out and fly it, make sure it'll stay in the air. And that's how I got a very strong technical background. But one thing that keeps me into this is I've been in situations fighting for the United States where I've almost lost my life, and I've lost men that work for me, doing things that I did not always believe in, but I was willing to give my life for it. And now I can take that same passion that I learned in the United States military, especially with the Rangers, and I can direct that to something that
You believe in.
I believe in. And that's why I'm so dedicated to getting this done, because it saves people's lives.
Right.
And that's why I have that energy to get it done.
You've worked all over, you've worked in several places around the world and around the globe. You were in Puerto Rico helping the situation there. You maintained your presence in Puerto Rico for quite some time, being able to help that entire community, that entire island. And you made a lot of strides there. And again, you had a lot of help from the United States government. They were there and they showed up for you and they helped you. So that says a lot about your relationships and how well you work with the government here, because it really is a big process, and it takes a lot of people to make sure a lot of this stuff gets in the right place and in your hands
And done by the right people.
and done by the right people.
Yes, and people from, when I was in Puerto Rico, a delegation from Flint, Michigan came there. They had heard about it through social media. So people from Flint showed up to see the water generator operating. And they stayed, they helped a bit. I gave them a tour of the machine, and I said, I told them, I promise you, when the time comes, I will come to Flint.
And you did. And you're here.
I keep a promise.
That's wonderful.
Wow. It's so crazy to me, Lisa, like you said. We don't hear these stories of, passion, purpose. We hear them every single day,
Yeah.
but we hear a lot of tragedy and then people feeling as though they were left out. And that's
Yeah.
not the case with you, Moses.
Right.
Like you said, you come in, you're the conduit, and the government works with you to move mountains very quickly. And that's very
Yeah.
impressive.
Yep. You like I said, when you went into Puerto Rico, now coming in here and meeting with people, you've been here a few days, and you already have a process and flow of what you would like
What next
to
moves
see.
are.
Oh, definitely. I'm that geek engineer. I'm that person.
Love it.
Maybe that the guy that you might want to call when you're in a firefight. But when it
Yes.
comes time to sit down and do the fine negotiation, I make that connection between my state and this state and the engineers and the people within the for-profit side of the company that need to come in here and get this done. But I honestly think that for people in the United States who understand what we're doing and how this technology works, and there's a great following behind it, it should be so easy just to donate enough to get as many machines in here as possible, as quickly as possible. Because
Right.
you're talking one of these big machines making 1,200 gallons a day, 2,500 gallons a day of absolutely pure water, exceeding World Health Organization standards.
It seems a no-brainer.
It doesn't have to
Definitely.
go
How
through a
would-
purification system.
That's
It's
right.
already pure.
How would you obtain the water? So they're sitting in the machines. How do we get access to the water?
You know, the same around Flint. I went to some place and I saw a little girl. Her name is Little Miss Flint.
Yes,
Mari?
yes.
And she's handing out cases of water.
Yeah.
And people drive all the way to this one place to get cases of water. Mm-hmm. Well, if you have the 2-gallon jugs that you need to put your water in, and you've got 20 of them at home, and you've got 20 of these machines around town, just go to the machine, fill them up with water, put them in your car,
And
drive
keep moving.
off.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
you
seems
can
a
have them
no-brainer, right?
A
It
block
does.
away from your house. Just walk down the
Pretty
block, get 4 gallons, and go home.
That's amazing. We see this happening. We can foresee it. We can see the
Absolutely.
vision. We can see it. And you, like you said, you're connecting the dots, and then you're standing back and let the,
We did it in
let the
Puerto
brokers
Rico.
handle it. You did it in Puerto Rico. You've done it everywhere. I mean, you
Dude.
travel to hurricanes. You travel around the
Check this
country.
out.
Let's hear it. Let me hear it.
What we did in Puerto Rico, Tesla had a battery solar array, a battery and a solar array, and we had the hospital. We ordered the cable from the States. Mm-hmm. The cable came. We plugged it in to the battery, and then we plugged it into the machine. And so we're making water off of sunlight. And then we had we had FEMA. We called them up, and they brought 2 53-foot trailers of the 2-gallon containers. We made sure that everybody on the island had one.
Wow.
So I got my lawn chair and I sat back up on the awning of the hospital, explained to everybody what they needed to do. They came and picked up the jugs, got water, went home, and then it just became a natural thing to do.
A well-oiled machine.
Wow.
It was just a flow. Here you are. And then at night, I would actually just sit there to watch the machine work and fill up with water before it cut off. On stored sunlight, I would sit there at night and watch it, and I would just...
Just be amazed.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And to be a part of it, it must be pretty life-changing
to implement
for
that.
you. Yeah.
It was the
Absolutely.
first net zero. It was the first net zero building in history.
Wow.
Wow.
The hospital's powered by sunlight, making water.
And to hear his passion and to feel your energy and to see your eyes light up, no wonder all of these organizations, these high-end organizations, our United States government, are so quick to work with you and for you and through you, because what you are doing is real. And you work with a lot of nonprofit organizations, specifically Regular Hero. That's who you traveled into into Flint with. Tell us a little bit about that organization.
Regular Heroes, they're pulling together a whole coalition of nonprofit organizations to get this done and get this out to people. And Open World Relief is another one.
Okay.
And several other different, I can't remember all of them.
Well, there's probably several that reach out to you, and then do they just make arrangements for you to travel with them to meet with the community?
Oh no, most of that I do on my own, and
Okay.
then when someone finds out that I'm going someplace or where I'm going to be, they'll want to assist and help out. But what I'm going to do here in the future, like 1,500 miles from now, when I get back to the state of Texas, I'm going to bury myself in engineering. I have things I need to do with the state, and to advance this technology further and faster than it's ever been advanced before. So I don't want to completely disappear.
But it's a season for technology.
Right, but it's time. But it's your time right now to make some strides and make moves going forward.
Yes.
That's why we are so very lucky
Yes.
to get you here, because your community outreach box, you're about to check it, and then you're about to go into your research, put your research and
Research
technology hat on, which I can only imagine what's going to come out once you come out this next phase. That's going to be incredible. And we will stay in touch with you because I foresee you coming back to the studio, coming back to the city.
Coming back to the city is that on your agenda to come back to Flint
It is.
and to
It is
to,
now.
It
We're-
is now.
We're
It is now.
forcing him.
Yeah.
Yes. Because like you said, I see what you have done in the city of Flint. I can see that. It seems like it should happen.
And you've seen what needs to be done here more than anything. Like you said, we're handing out bottles of water, and we're consistently, this community is consistently needing to get donations of
Sustainability. Yes.
bottles of water. So you see the great need here.
You give me one of these blocks in Flint where the entire block is down, I could put a water production facility in that block. That would
Let's do it.
Moses
anywhere.
West.
Depending on how well us engineers sit in the room and calculate it out and how we do it, I'd say 50 to 100,000 gallons
Wow.
Let's do it.
Yes.
a day.
And
Well-
it's needed.
It's needed, and I think we have an exclusive. We love these exclusives.
Absolutely.
It's what gets us the billions of listeners
That's right.
and viewers. But you know what, Moses? You're the real deal. And I knew that when you were standing behind me in line and you were talking about sustainability and water and what you did in your history. And you did it with kindness, and you were humble, and you were in the city for the right reasons, and you travel for the right reasons, and I think that's why you're so embraced.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because like you said, we need your help.
Yeah.
The city of Flint needs your help, but this innovation across the board, it's going to save lives. Hurricanes, natural disasters, wars, you name it. You've seen it.
Absolutely.
You've lived it. You've survived it. So you are pretty incredible. Will you come back on?
Most definitely.
You'll stay in touch?
Most definitely.
So heading back to Texas, getting your research hat back on, and then when do we see you kind of pop your head back out? When does that take flight?
Let's see. Probably the second week of next month. I've got some things to do, and yeah.
But heading back to your home state of Texas, and you work a lot with Texas A&M as well.
Yep. We start that next month in just a few days. I've got a few things to do. I've got some things to finish up with the military and
Just a few things.
Just a few
A
things
little
here
bit.
and there.
And save the world. No
And
big deal.
Again, thank you so much for your service, and go Army. I have a father and a brother and nephews and uncles, and they're all Army.
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers, go Moses, go Regular Hero, all those great organizations you work with. And Moses, how can people get a hold of you? Social media, probably the best way to reach out.
Social media is probably the best way, and then I'll give you all company information when we're off air.
And your social media again is
The Water Rescue Foundation, and that's what I always forget. Please donate to the Water Rescue Foundation,
Water.
because your donations, when you donate to the Water Rescue Foundation, when I get enough donations in, I build these machines and I give them away. I give them away to the community that needs them.
please donate. Please donate to the Water Rescue Foundation.
The Water Rescue Foundation, Moses West. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
This has been Kaiba Health and Life.